I'm Yolande from Oracle Technology Network, and I'm here today at Devoxx UK with Dan and James. Hi.
Hi.
So you're both part of the steering committee for Devoxx, so tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the steering committee are the sort of the 5 founding members of the Devoxx UK. Obviously, steering committee isn't all there is. There are other volunteers and the program committee as well. But the steering committee are the main team that sort of organise the event, from where the venue is, to the food, to organising the rest of the team. So we've got some decent talks to come up.
Absolutely. We have to pick the venue, we have to pick the theme and the agenda of what we're trying to get across, and aim for the pitch of what we're trying to deliver to our audience. And the steering committee basically lay the foundation for the rest of the team members.
So why is Devoxx important or different from other conferences?
So most conferences will give you a £2,000 price tag. They will request that you go to your manager, your boss, and have you see if you can come along to deliver some business value, or to come and learn about a specific project or a specific technology that the business would like to deliver. Devoxx comes at it from a different angle. We care about you as a developer. We care about you and your passions, and we want to deliver you things that are cool, things that are interested, things that you would be doing back at home, in your own spare time, whether you were paid for it or not. We recognise that we're an army of geeks out there, and that we have to not forget that.
Anything else to add?
From my own personal point of view, it's mostly about those things that you read in blogs. There's all the speakers are here that write those blogs, and they're here to give you their latest knowledge. You know, this isn't the stuff that you can just go and use straight away. This is stuff that you're going to use in a month's time or in 2 months' time. And without the type of exposure that you get at Devoxx, it's sometimes hard to pick these technologies up. So it's really important for me to help people get in touch with those new technologies as soon as possible.
And it's worth pointing out that we get this really low price tag at just £350 for 2 days. It's a really awesome level of access that you can offer to people to put into their own pockets, to come and take the time out and invest in themselves. And we see the community wholeheartedly supporting us in that endeavour.
So this is the first time that you are doing this conference in the UK, and I guess the first time that you are also part of a steering committee. So what is your idea of it the first day into the conference?
I think I have to answer this one, since it's not strictly true for Dan. It's my first time on the steering committee for Devoxx, and I knew it was going to be a lot of work. I didn't quite imagine how much work it was going to be. There's all the little things you forget, from the newsletters that go out every week, to the mail shots to remind you about your e-ticket, to getting everyone together before the event so that we can have a bit of a social time, because obviously for everyone in the blue jumper here, it's work, and we're making sure that everyone here has an absolute fantastic time.
Yeah, I've been involved with Devoxx Main over in Belgium for about 6, 7, 8 years now, and it's been really interesting going from being on the fringe. I got involved because I complained about the Wi-Fi, and Stefan emailed me in the February following and said, great, so what are you going to do about that? And being a community conference, it's all about stepping up. I got adopted into the Devoxx family, and now I feel well and truly part of it. And it's not just about the steering, it's about feeling that as a whole. And we have attendees that have been coming pretty much for a decade now, and this community isn't just the steering, it's everyone. And talking about the effort, it is surprising seeing the other side of things. So we've been, in the UK, have been taking the lead. While we've had the support from the Belgians, we've had great support from Stefan Janssen in helping guide us as to what we should be doing. Really, it's been for us to step up to that plate and to bring the community from the LJC, but for us to also lead the message of what London developers want. And that's been a big burden over the past few months, but it's been an absolute joy to see it come to life.
And it was a short deadline as well, right? You started just 3 months ago?
Yeah, I think normally you organise a Devoxx in about 9 months, and we did it in just over four and 2 weeks, which is when you've got to imagine that London's never had a Devoxx before, so we have to get the word out, we have to make sure the communities are involved. Just doing all of that takes weeks in itself, and that's not without considering the venue, the speakers, the program. It's so much work, but it's definitely worth it when you look around, you see so many people having fun.
Yeah, I described it, Devoxx, for a member of the steering committee, as these 2 days have been like going on a stag weekend, except there's more alcohol and less sleep. So that gives you an idea of the sort of processes and pressure we have to go through, but it's an absolute joy to actually be able to deliver this to the community.
So why do you think London needs Devoxx?
I think there's certainly no shortage of conferences in the UK for Java and other programming languages, but Devoxx isn't just about Java, it's about the Java community, and we certainly don't have many events outside of the London Java community in London where people can get together on that sort of more social, it's not about going back and learning how to get the best business value to deliver. It's all about making ties, making the community realise that you can reach out to each other. We're not individuals with the individual problems. We all have similar problems, and sometimes you come across something that someone else has already fixed, and if you know them in the community, then it just helps your life easier and it makes their life easier if you can help them. And that's what community is about. It's about helping each other.
So one of the unique things about Devoxx that comes up every time we go off and ask the community for feedback is the corridor conversations, the people you bump into. I remember taking a photo of Josh Blocks sat next to a 19-year-old developer and working on his code. And he has his idol set next to him. And I see that happen at no other conference in the world. And I go to plenty. And Devoxx has that atmosphere of integration and being able to be accessible. We've had the rock stars in the Java world just sitting amongst people, and you end up seeing the students in awe that these people are around me, but they are easily accessible. And one of the key features that we have at every Devoxx edition we do is the whiteboards, where we put up topics of debate. And what interests people that stood around writing on it each time I talk to them is these people take notes. Oracle actually read these, take snapshots and take them back, and they've worked this into their development process, and they take that feedback on board. And watching that feedback cycle come over a year, it's incredible to see how the community respond to that. And I think it goes both ways. The community support Devoxx, and Devoxx supports the community in return. And I don't think that you would find one without the other, no more than you would find user groups without a community, and vice versa.
So you are a speaker and also on the steering committee. So how easy is it or how different it is to be on both sides?
It's interesting having two jobs at the same conference. Certainly, if I'd thought about it a bit, I might not have done that. However, I'm going to be giving a talk in security, so I'm going to be going through some of the basics of how various encryption algorithms work, what's coming in the future for encryption, because obviously one of the themes for Devoxx is the future this year. So unlike some of the other talks where it's more about Java programming, I'm going to go sort of a bit more academical, which will be different, I think, from quite a few of the other talks that are on. So I'm looking forward to giving it.
So are you planning on doing it again next year? Or?
So we've not formally booked any location, but we've had a great response here. We're going to go back and see what the community wants us to do. And if we have sponsorship from the likes of Oracle and other great partners that we've had in the past, and we have the willingness from the community to support us in doing so, we would be honoured to put another event on in London.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.